Welcome to the Derm-It Trotter Don't Swear About Skincare podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Shannon Trotter, board certified dermatologist. And today we're going to do a little different take. What's hot or not, but instead we're going to do what's trot or not. And our first subject is skincare trends for 2024. So we're going to kick things off with our first trend, glass skin. First, when I heard of this, I'm like, what is glass skin? And I had to actually look this up. My social media manager sent this to me and said, you need to learn a few of these terms that are floating around. So when I looked it up, I found out just what all of you probably know. Glass skin is this pursuit of perfection to get your skin to look perfect. No pores, no fine lines, no dark spots. It's where your skin just looks like it was photoshopped, but by doing a skincare regimen. And I thought, well, preach on. Who wouldn't want that? I mean, everyone wants perfect skin. So how do you do this? There are steps to really achieve that glass skin look. So it can be a little complex for those of you that don't like routines. So how do you get that glass skin look? So here are a few steps. And again, for those of you that don't like routines, this can be a little tough. One, you do that double cleanse. Next, after you double cleanse, you're going to do that exfoliation, followed by a toner, then an essence, then a serum, and then finally a moisturizer, and then sunscreen if you're headed out in the morning. Those steps can get you that glowy, dewy skin that achieves kind of that reflection of glass. So a lot of people say, is this a good thing? Well, I think the extra boost of hydration and overall skin health benefits, yes, definitely this can be a positive thing. So for glass skin, is it hot or not, or actually trot or not? Well, in this case, trot for the skincare regimen and that extra boost of hydration that our skin often needs, but not for that pursuit of perfection, which really isn't attainable for anyone. Our next trend is collagen masks. That's one of the ways that the internet tells you can achieve glass skin. So essentially, what are collagen masks? Well, these are masks that you can apply to your face that actually contain collagen in them. So why would you even do this? Well, collagen gives you that youthful look to your skin, that structure, that elasticity, essentially makes us look younger. And as we get older, those collagen reserves start to go down. So if you use a collagen mask, the thought is you can put collagen back into the skin. So do you want to mask up? Is this something you should do? Well, if you want to try it, you do want to be careful to look out for ingredients that are better, that might be more likely to be absorbed in the skin. In particular, look for hydrolyzed collagen or collagen amino acids. These might be better absorbed into your skin, so ultimately you might see more benefit. The benefits tend to be temporary, increased moisturization and hydration, but the long-term benefit we really don't know. There's just no data. We need more studies to really find out what does this do for our skin. So in essence, I tell you, if you want to try it, I think you get some immediate benefits. So I call this a trot, so you can actually try it if you want. In this economy, if you can't put money in the bank, you might as well put collagen in the bank. So that brings us to our next skincare trend, collagen banking. So what essentially is this? Well, this consists of different methods to help you preserve your collagen in the prime of your life and basically put it on reserve so that you have collagen later on as it naturally breaks down. Now, you probably know collagen is important for our skin. It gives our skin its structure, that elasticity that we talked about, and our youthful look. But unfortunately, over time, our collagen breaks down. They say we lose about 1% per year. Now, when that happens, that's when we tend to look older and you might notice more fine lines or wrinkles. Not that I'd ever admit it, but now the thought is maybe we can fight back with what's called collagen banking. And again, you can use different methods to accomplish this. You can do things like vitamin C or topical retinoids and start with creams. You can get more aggressive with even injectables, or you can even do in-office procedures such as microneedling or even laser. There's a whole variety of treatments that can help you preserve that collagen. So the thought is this really going to be worth it or something that's going to be into the future? I think it is. I think this is definitely a trend that's going to stick with us with more technology. So is it trot or not? Trot. I expect this to keep going on with more data to support different ways of developing collagen, regenerating in the skin so that we can maintain that youthful look. So we just talked about collagen, which really helps us plump up that skin. Now we're going to move to another skincare trend, gua sha, which is really focused on slimming or sculpting that skin down. So what is it? It's a traditional Chinese holistic method of basically draining lymphatic fluid and increasing blood flow in your skin. And this is typically done with a gua sha stone or a tool where you actually make a scraping movement onto the face that kind of moves away from the midline of the face to help depuff and increase circulation. Now, it may result in actual trauma to the superficial layer of the skin. You can even get little bruises, what we call petechiae, that might even pop up as a result. But this is actually done not only on the face, but other parts of the body too, as a part of traditional Chinese method. But now it's really made its way into skincare. So the appeal is this can help sculpt your face, depuff, get rid of some of that fluid, and really give you a more contoured look to your face that a lot of us want. But we really don't know what the benefits are for the long haul. A lot of people can see that immediate benefit, but who knows what it's going to do over time. It works pretty superficially, so it's really hard to believe that it can stimulate collagen, although increased circulation may have some benefits, but we need more studies to really verify that. So, Trot or not? Potential Trot, again, for the immediate benefit of depuffing, but we definitely need more studies to really show what are the benefits for the skin for the long term. So going to try gua sha yourself, well, I have a few tips to help you through the process if you're going to attempt to do it. First, use a non-comedogenic oil like rosehip oil. And then use a clean tool and make sure you're moving away from the central face to allow that depuffiness and again to move that fluid away to give you that more sculpted look that you're trying to go for. For our next skincare trend, we're going to move from the face to the scalp and talk about hair loss. In particular, I really want to address rosemary oil or water for hair growth because who wouldn't want more hair? Let's be honest. So what's going on in this situation? Well, this is where people are applying rosemary oil or water to the scalp and really focusing on rubbing it in to see if it can stimulate hair growth. And people are doing this weekly, nightly, even just to see what kind of results does it yield. And what's appealing about that? Well, most of us want more hair, and we're often looking for natural alternatives and things that we don't have to actually take a pill or deal with side effects. So I get why people are looking for things like this to actually help with hair loss. And if you think about it, rosemary does have a type of ingredient that can be helpful for hair loss. It's called carnosic acid. And this has been known to actually heal tissue damage. It can help with nerve regeneration, increase cell turnover. So the thought is it may actually help with hair loss as well. And it may actually improve circulation. And a lot of hair loss is a result of just circulation. That blood flow around the hair follicles just isn't working well. And those hair follicles can't get the nutrients that they need. So maybe rosemary water does have possible effect to make hair growth happen because of that. So what they've actually done is some small scale studies actually using rosemary oil and comparing it over to minoxidil, what is Rogaine. And they actually showed that people had comparable hair growth at a different point in the study. So there might be some evidence to suggest that it has some benefit. So a lot of people say, okay, well, if I do this, what do I do? Well, we always recommend that if you take this oil, make sure that you actually don't rub it on directly to your skin. If you're going to decide to use it, do a test spot first. Rub a little bit of that rosemary oil behind your ear. Wait a few days and make sure you don't get a reaction. Then if you decide you actually want to apply it to the scalp, I recommend mixing it with a carrier oil. This is something like coconut oil, tea tree oil. You can add a few drops to this and it dilutes it so it's just not so potent. Then when you apply it to the scalp, you want to apply it all over and leave it on for at least a half an hour. You could even try overnight, but again, sometimes you can increase that level of irritation if you leave it on too long. I recommend doing it before you shampoo so you can get rid of any residue that's left on the scalp skin. So overall, the thought is, could this be beneficial? The answer is maybe, but for hair loss, it takes such an emotional toll. I often tell patients if it's something that can't really be harmful and might be beneficial, why not? So this is a Trot. Give it a shot. It might actually be beneficial for you. Just keep in mind, you want to make sure that you don't get irritation or allergy from it. So now we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about tweens terrorizing Sephora. You might have been there shopping one day and encountered a few of them. What a scary sight to see a bunch of tweens purchasing expensive skincare products. And now the trend is to go on TikTok and really talk about skincare routines using these products. The appeal. Well, why do kids do this? It makes sense. I mean, kids want to imitate what we do, right? My daughter loves to pretend like she's driving. She loves to play dress up. So it's not surprising that tweens want to imitate skincare. It's super popular and available everywhere and really talked about online and with social media. The concern is that the place and the emphasis is really becoming about anti-aging and wrinkling and the cost of these products. And the ingredients can be really hard on their skin. Sometimes they're using retinol or other anti-aging type ingredients that can result in irritation, redness, or even allergy and create more skin problems. So the reality is, I think the focus should be on skin health and not necessarily just beauty and anti-aging. A 10-year-old shouldn't be worrying about wrinkling. So what we recommend is really going over with your tween a healthy skincare routine, a gentle cleanser, a moisturizer if needed, and of course, sunscreen. Those are the basics where they should start, and they should think of taking care of their skin just like brushing their teeth. It should all be about skin health and not necessarily this pursuit of beauty or perfectionism or keeping their skin youthful. That will come with time. So, trot or not? Not. This is a trend that we need to leave behind in 2024. As we go into 2025, really talk about skin health with our tweens. If you want to hear more and have your tweens sit down and listen, take a look at my podcast with Dr. Angela Casey, who's developed a skincare product line developed just for tweens so that they really learn about skin health. So if you were at Sephora and you were the victim of a mean 10-year-old, you might have ran out of the store crying. Now when you cry, we all know, bad for the face. You get the puffy eyes, even maybe the cheeks. Now you might turn to our next trend, facial icing. So what is it? It's the concept of putting ice on your face to really help with depuffing. It basically is something that's been caught on now in the internet, and it's really working, or people think it works, I should say, to help with inflammation, potentially acne. It helps slim the face is what people will claim. It may even make the pores look smaller, some people will claim as well. And some say it might actually be anti-aging. Now, honestly, what's the appeal? Well, it can be soothing to do it. The ice can feel good. It's a part of a routine. And who wouldn't want all those things? No acne, no puffiness, no pores, slimming of the face. So yeah, people are going to try this. So going for the ice, a lot of people say if you do this, how should you do it? Well, I recommend if you're actually going to try to ice the face that you don't use ice directly to your skin. You need some sort of barrier because you can't get an ice burn. So don't keep it on too long for the skin. My rule of thumb is no longer than 15 minutes and keep it short. And you don't want to do it multiple times a day. There's a lot of people icing their face constantly throughout the day thinking they're going to get even better results. So does facial icing have any benefits? Well, it might help temporarily relieve some inflammation from acne, and it also can help those blood vessels in the skin close down a little bit, which could make you look a little less red, and you might think some of that inflammation is gone, but there really isn't any benefit that we can see long-term that's anti-aging, and often pores, they're not going to change with putting ice on your skin. But icing can be somewhat fun. And what do I mean by this? It's just adding in another step to your skincare routine. The thought of just pampering yourself or doing something additional, that can actually be relaxing. There's not a lot of data to suggest what the long-term benefits may be, but if it's giving you some of that immediate benefit of just feeling good in the moment, I tell people, why not? So trot or not on the ice directly on your skin. Again, I recommend using something like a jade roller, or you can also use a cool compress, which is my favorite way to do it. And when you have a cool compress, you can control that temperature. You can get the benefits of some of that depuffing without any of the side effects that you don't want. As we mentioned with glass skin, the first step is double cleansing, our next trend for 2024. So what does this really entail? What does even a double cleanse mean? Well, just what it sounds like. You cleanse your face twice. But the first step is that you actually cleanse with an oil cleanser or a micellar water cleanser. And then you follow it with a water-based gentle cleanser. The first part is necessary to help get rid of sunscreen and oil-based makeup. That's the reason for that oil cleanser, to break that up and get it gone. Then when you follow it with the gentle cleanser, you're doing that basic cleansing to your skin as well. So the appeal is to get your skin really clean. You get all that stuff off from the day, the products you put on, as well as anything you've been exposed to in the environment or pollution. So double cleansing, I insist, is a must, especially if you put sunscreen on, which I'm sure all of you are doing. And if you're also doing that oil-based makeup, which a lot of people use nowadays. And that gives you that first step to get that gone. And then that next cleanse process really sets the scene for you to put on your additional products. So you're really just starting off with a clean slate. So trot or not, definitely a trot that you should carry double cleansing into 2025. So for my 10-step routine lovers out there, you probably did this trend, skin flooding. So what is it? Well, you simply drench your skin in moisture, but it does require a few steps to make this happen. But the whole goal, why do this moisture trick? Moisture, baby. You want that moisture in your skin. It makes you plump. It gives that skin that fullness. And when skin's well hydrated, fine lines and wrinkles look less apparent. So, how to do it. You're going to clean your skin with a gentle cleanser, and then you want your skin to stay damp after you've done that. Then you want to apply a nice hydrating serum that contains hyaluronic acid or potentially glycerin, which will work to help kind of suck in and draw in that moisture into your skin. Next, you'll apply a serum containing hydrating ingredients like niacinamide or polyglutamic acid. And then finally, you'll apply a moisturizing lotion, cream, or ointment to lock that moisture in. So, trot or not, trot. For those that actually have very dry or mature skin. But keep in mind, skin flooding may not be the best for you if you struggle with acne. And also during summer months, you might want to substitute out a more lightweight moisturizer instead of that heavyweight. So we already talked about doing collagen masks. Well, now there's a new trend about doing overnight masks. So what are they? These are hydrating masks that you use overnight and you remove it in the morning, and people are really gaining popularity by doing their morning shed where they can peel the mask off. So why do these masks in the first place? Well, going back to hydration, getting that moisture lock into the skin, and it actually supports the skin's natural repair process while you're sleeping. Hydrating masks, they can have hyaluronic acid in them, glycerin, lactic acid, and the right overnight mask formulation, also they'll have ceramides and squalene to really help become moisturizing for your skin, but they're not occlusive, where they don't block your pores. You can also have vitamin C, green tea extract can be included in these masks as well, and even niacinamide, which can also help target some dark spots if you're using these masks. So what's their appeal? Well, one, again, get those moisturizers on the skin and do it in a mask formulation. And two, it's kind of like throwing things into a crock pot. You leave it, forget it. You throw the mask on, forget about it. You sleep through the benefits and wake up in the morning with great looking skin. So how do you do it? Well, first find out what you're trying to fix. As I mentioned, there's different ingredients. So you want to find a mask. If you're targeting dark spots that has some of those ingredients, or if you're just looking for hydration, use a mask that's simply focused on that alone. So you want to leave it on for approximately 6 to 8 hours. Take it off in the morning. So Trot or not, Trot. Hydrating masks, I think, are a lot of fun. They're going to give you that temporary benefit of increased hydration to the skin, and they're actually really convenient. So for those of you that are pretty low maintenance and don't like doing all these steps, put that mask on and just let it do its work while you sleep. Just ask your dermatologist what mask might be right for you based on your unique skin needs. If this list of skin trends made you cringe, then probably this next skin trend is for you, skin minimalism. So what is it? Well, this is basically cutting your routine down. Yes, you can get into a lot of steps for a skincare routine. You might be a 10-stepper, 5 in the morning, 5 at night. And a lot of you might just think out there is no way I'm going to be able to do that. So the new trend is to cut that down to maybe 3 steps and really consolidate your skincare regimen so it's concise and efficient for you. So what's the appeal? It's time saving. A lot of us have busy lives and schedules. I've got 3 kids, 6, 4, and 2, and even trying to get something on my skin, it's hard to balance everything in life when you've got so much going on, even as a dermatologist. And it may actually save money. You spend a lot of money on products, especially if you got multiple steps. Often if you're able to consolidate, that means less product, and combination products aren't necessarily more expensive. And basically this makes skincare, I think, more realistic and practical, especially for that time-constrained person, like many of you working moms, students out there, and frankly for some of us that are just plain lazy, let's face it, right? So, how to be a skin minimalist? Less is more is what I tell people for taking care of your skin, especially if those complex routines turn you off. If you're somebody that's not going to follow a routine with multiple steps, don't even try. You just set yourself up for failure. What you want to do is try these routines where it's fairly minimal and those steps are all consolidated. And this can be done now with combination products. You can still get sunscreen, moisturizer, and antioxidants in, and you can do it in one simple step. And you can also add in your antioxidants, your vitamin A at night, and make it again in one simple step due to those combination products. So, Trot or not, this is a Trot. It's my philosophy for good skincare because most people need things to be concise and simple in life for them to stick with it. And if you stick with your skincare routine, that's when you're going to see results. So I hope you enjoyed hearing what's Trot or not for skincare trends 2024. I want you to know if you tried these trends, that's something that I think can be a lot of fun. Trends are enjoyable. You're like, hey, that looks interesting. Maybe it would work for me. So don't beat yourself up if maybe there isn't data to support that, oh, this is definitely going to prevent you from wrinkling 10 years down the line. I know that maybe rolling a jade roller on my skin may not be justified by some great study, but you know what? Sometimes it just simply feels good and it's nice to pamper yourself and it's relaxing. So just take skincare trends with a grain of salt. Keep safety first and understand which ones are worth investing in. So you don't have to break the bank to be Trot.